Hey friends, it's Eric, and today we're going to be quickly comparing the Eufy S100 versus the Eufy S120 wall light cameras. So even though that these have very similar names, these two cameras are totally different for two different scenarios. So today we're going to quickly compare the two. They both look totally different, but because they're a similar name, I figured it'd be a good idea just to quickly compare them. Now, the Eufy S100 is a wired light and camera. You have to have it wired. It is not battery operated. The nice thing about this one is that you can have up to, I think it's like 16 million colors. So the light that's built into this is super bright. I think they say up to 1200 lumens. I actually found it too bright. I actually have to turn it down. I don't remember. It's like 50%, and I get to pick the exact white that I wanted to match my other lights in the front. But the main thing to remember here is that it does have to be wired. So you have to make sure, you're replacing a outdoor lamp or some floodlight. You have to have wiring there. Unfortunately, unlike the other cameras, this one is not battery operated, but in return, you don't have to deal with making sure that this is placed in an area where you get great sunlight, you get the extra brightness, and you get all the extra colors. And when it comes to video footage storage, it has 4 gigs of internal memory. Unfortunately, it doesn't work currently with the Home Base 3. They say that will be coming, but I don't know when that actually will take effect. And they also offer cloud-based recording if you want to pay for that service. Now, when it comes to the camera, it is a 2K camera, and unfortunately, you cannot really move this camera. You can kind of move the entire light a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, but as far as going up and down, you cannot move that camera. So wherever that box is, that electrical box is, that's pretty much where you have to put this camera. There's really not going to be much adjustment. So just be aware that that camera is pointed down. They say mount this about 6 to 8 feet high. If your box is there, that's great. But if it's not, then you might have an issue where then maybe solar camera, the battery operated one, the S120, might be a better option. Now, the S120 is also a 2K camera, and this one also cannot move. The camera lens cannot move in any direction. But what's nice is that you can move the entire unit to wherever you want it. So if the camera is not in the right location or it's not the right height, you can move it. They do suggest about that 6 to 8 foot height for best motion activation and just where the camera lens is, but it's mostly pointed down. But understand that if you're not getting the right viewing angle, you can actually move it. Downsides to this is when you move it, you might not be getting the sunlight that you need. You don't want to mount this under the eave where it's not going to get any sunlight, so you can't mount it too high. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. So you want to make sure wherever you want to put this camera that you get good sunlight, at least 2 hours of direct sunlight. Now, when it comes to the light itself, this one is a lot less bright. It is only about 300 lumens, and you cannot change the color. The color is what it is. I kind of feel like it's like a 2700. I could be wrong about that when it comes to the actual color rating. And when it comes to the solar panel, I found that as long as you're getting that 2 hours of direct sunlight, that was more than enough. But obviously, that's going to depend on how often you use the camera, how often motion is activated. And this one actually has an internal memory size of 8 gigs. And this will be the same thing. It's supposed to be working with the Home Base 3 coming later on, but currently it is not. I really like the power management dashboard where you can actually see how much battery you've been using, how much solar energy you've been creating, and really see where a good location of this might be, if it's getting enough light or not, so you know to move it. Now, both these cameras have two-way audio, so you can definitely talk to someone and they can talk to you. They also have motion activated lights. Nice thing about the S100 with the different colors and different brightnesses is that you can trigger different colors when it sees motion. They both also have AI detection, so you're going to get notifications of people and other moving objects. And they both have very similar settings and controls inside the app, except for the stuff that I've already mentioned. Both these are great cameras and security lights. It really comes down to if you have a place to hardwire this in, or if you need that solar panel where you can actually get enough sunlight. And also keep in mind that you cannot really move the camera angle on either one of these cameras. So you really have to know if it's high enough. If it's too low, you're not going to see what you want. If it's too high, you're not going to get the motion activated alerts. So definitely keep those things in mind with both these cameras. But I think overall, no matter which one you get, as long as you get it for the right scenario, I think you will be very happy. Hope this video was helpful. See you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.